Welcome to the Summers Woodworking Show. It's Season 4, Episode 12, and we're going to be talking about what are your 3 favorite woodworking tools and why. First off, we're going to start with roll call, and to my left is Shane. Shane, you want to tell people who you are and how they can find you and what kind of woodworking you do?
Yeah, sure can. Hi, everybody. I'm Shane. You can find me on all social medias under Shane's Hobby Shop. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of that stuff, even some others I can't mention. But yeah, under Shane's Hobby Shop, and I'm soon to have a website. It's not up yet, but it'll be shane'shobbyshop.com.
Sounds good. What kind of woodworking do you do, Shane?
Actually, I do basically anything. Here lately, I've been building a bunch of outside Arondite chairs and benches and all of that. But I also build stuff for the inside of the house, which is cabinets. I haven't built a dresser yet, but I'm fixing to build a dresser and a bed. So yeah, basically anything for the house, inside or out.
Sounds good.
Or should I say anything Mom says?
And since I know Shelly can't make it tonight, but you want to plug her?
Yeah, that's my wife, Shelly. Everybody knows her as Mom. So if you ever hear me talk about me and Mom doing this, not my mom, my wife. That's what everybody calls her Mom, because her YouTube channel is Know What Mom Knows. She's also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all of that. And again, she also is going to have a website, but it's going to be further on down the line. When she gets her website up, it's Know What Mom Knows. Now, what she does is a mixture of everything. She does a little bit of woodworking, but she also does cooking. And since it's coming wintertime up, that's when she starts up all her cooking stuff. And I know a couple people's already in line to get some treats that was promised to them. So, yeah, she's fixing to start that back up. And, oh, trust me, that's why I got this big old belly here. She's a good cook.
Sounds good. Thanks, Shane.
Yep.
Next, we have Russ and his son tonight.
Hi, I'm Russ, and you can find me on Simply Wooden Creations on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, anywhere you want to look. Just type in Simply Wooden Creations and you'll run across me.
Okay.
And this is my son, Corey.
I'm Corey. I don't really do too much woodworking other than helping my dad out with a couple projects here or there for his YouTube page.
Sounds good. And Russ, what kind of woodworking projects do you do?
Anything and everything. I mean, I started out doing scroll sawing, and my passion is in scroll sawing. I love that the most. But, I mean, I understood, and I'm a general contractor in the state of Florida, and I've been a carpenter my whole life. My father was. But I understood in order for me to expand my YouTube channel, I needed to be more diversified than just do scrolling all the time. So I branched out trying to make some new things. I've recently purchased a CNC, so pretty well the sky's the limit. I can pretty well make anything I want to.
Sounds good. And next we have Donald. Donald, do you want to tell people?
Yep. My YouTube channel is Donald Vlogify's Woodshop. I got a website, redneckknowhow.com, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all on the YouTube channel. And woodworking, I do a little bit of everything, from wood carving, building boxes, everything except construction, because ain't nobody wanting to live in nothing I built.
So you do CNC work too?
Nope, I haven't. As far as the wood carving goes, I am the CNC.
You're the CNC. Okay. Sounds good.
I ain't taught Dave to send me one of them art machines yet. He don't seem to want to listen to me.
I don't know. Just gotta keep whittling at him. Maybe he'll give up.
But I did. My computer fried here a while back, and I just want to say thanks to everybody that helped me out. Russ started a GoFundMe. I'm grateful to you, Russ. everybody contributed. Y'all really helped me out, and I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Well,
I just,
you're
I
our
just,
favorite redneck.
I just wanted to say real quick that first off, your video is fantastic, and your audio is also, the new computer is doing you good because your audio is off. Also, you sound like you're on a broadcast.
Oh, it's a world of difference from what I had, because that thing was 6, 7 years old, and it's a world of difference.
Your video is just like impeccable from my end, and like I said, your audio sounds like a broadcast channel.
And that kind of worried me. Now they can see how ugly I really am.
Yeah, but now you got to get a bigger background. Your
Yep.
background too.
Yeah, I was looking at that when I signed in. It was like, darn, I should have checked this beforehand. Oh well, I'm a redneck. It looks redneck.
Yeah, there you go. And next we have Chris.
Hey guys, it's Chris here at the Old Cranky Workshop. While Donald was out of commission, I was pretending to be Donald, but I didn't get very far with that. Everybody saw right through it. So, but anyways, I do a little bit of everything from little wooden beer mugs and toys to some Adirondack furniture, some furniture around the house. Just recently finished the bedroom headboard, tape nightstands, things like that. So, much like Shane's, it's got to be built. I build it before I'll buy it. But that's pretty much it. And you can find me on Facebook at the Old Cranky Workshop. Right now on YouTube at Chris the Wheeler. But with the completion of my pallet challenge video, the Old Cranky Workshop YouTube page will be up and running now that we've got it fixed.
All right, cool. Been waiting.
I've been waiting too, but for some reason I couldn't transfer the videos over. It kept fighting me, so I gave up. So we're going to use the new videos and start from scratch there. So we're back in business.
All right.
Just going to sit
Sounds
down and
good.
spend some time editing this weekend. So that's it.
Cool beans, Chris. Well, tonight we're going to be discussing what is your three favorite woodworking tools and why. And I'll start off with Shane. Shane, you want to tell people what your favorite are?
Okay, there we go. First, got to find a mute button. Yeah, actually, I got three. Just so happens that's what we got to show off tonight. I'm going to try and show this. All right, my first one, which is always my favorite. Okay. All right, this is my table saw. I got this a couple of months ago. It's the Delta 13-inch table saw. I love it. I got it from Lowe's, and it's one of my favorite ones.
And why?
Yeah. Okay, sounds like somebody else. Hear myself repeat. Okay, but anyway.
Hey, why is it your favorite tool? What do you like about it?
Oh, what I liked about this thing? Oh, well, for one, it fit in my bedroom. I actually live in a two-bedroom apartment, and not apartment, but a trailer house. And hold on, I'm getting a lot of feedback here.
Sound good on my end.
I live in a two-bedroom trailer house, and this thing actually fits into my spare bedroom, and I don't have to move it around much at all, and it's just actually pretty cool. I can do a bunch of cutting on it. Pretty nice. And I don't have to move it around. Now my second one is this DeWalt planer. Mom got this for me for my Christmas present, birthday present.
Hold on, Shane.
August 6th is my birthday, so she got this for me, and because of this, I was able to do the upcycle challenge, and I made a really nice little shelf there. And because of the planer, it does not look like it's actually pallet wood.
Shane.
And my last one, I think it's this one right here. Good friend, one of my viewers, actually got me this sander. And it's actually pretty nice. I actually got it with me here, and real easy to do a lot of sanding on it. Really nice. I really like that.
Okay, Shane.
I cannot hear. I know you're hollering at me, but I'm getting a lot of feedback. I don't know if y'all
Yeah,
get that.
it's coming from your end.
I cannot hear. I know you're hollering at me. Hold on a second. I'm getting a lot of feedback. I don't know if y'all get that.
It's coming from your end.
I cannot hear. I know you're hollering at me.
You gotta mute the other video for the chat.
Is that any better?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm sorry about all that. Oh.
Yeah, I didn't understand anything, but we got the tools that you like.
Okay, good. Table saw, my planer, and that sander. Top of line.
All righty. Okay, we'll move on over to Russ.
Okay, good. Go ahead. Oh, he's sorry. Before the show, my son hadn't eaten dinner, so he's like trying to stuff some pizza down his face. So,
Yep.
so anyway, my three favorite tools would be my scroll saw, my probably my I want a compound miter, and then my bandsaw. Why? And I got to explain why. Well, first off, I love the scroll saw. I've done it since the early since probably around 79 or 80. I think I bought my first scroll saw in the 1980s. So had no clue as to how to use it. I was walking through Sears and seen it, and I was asking one of the guys at the Sears Tools, thing, what the heck is that? And they explained to us. And that was back. There was no non-pin blades. It was all pinned-in blades back when I started. So I started scrolling with it, and I fell in love and just kept doing it throughout the years, and have just improved on the saws. The reason for the compound miter is because with that I can cut up lengths of boards to whatever I would need for my scroll saw. I mean, if you did away with all my tools, that would be the three that I would want to keep. And then the bandsaw, I can also cut the thickness of the wood down to where I need it for the scroll saw. Now, naturally, I'd have to sand it or whatever, but my three primary tools would be those three, and then I could continue. I would be happy in a wood shop with just those three tools. That would make me happy.
Yeah. And what kind are they?
Well, I have a DeWalt 788 scroll saw. I have a DeWalt compound miter, the big boy. It's a don't remember its number or whatever. And then I have, you're gonna laugh, but I have a Harbor Freight bandsaw it's one of the older versions that's actually a Jet. Looks just exactly like the Jet or older Jet or older Powermatic, and it works fantastic. So I've had that for 3 years, and I've cut a ton of stuff with it. And if you get the, I'm trying to think of the blades, but I can't remember the blades. If you get the blades that I have on mine, it's funny how when you get to be old, you forget those things so easily. But if you get the right blades for your bandsaw, it'll cut through stuff like hot butter.
Sounds great.
Yeah, the newer band saws that Harbor Freight has out are not as good as the old ones, but the older one like I got the 6-inch riser block. I actually ordered the 6-inch riser block from a Jet, and it fit on mine perfectly. And so the older versions were the identical, the twins of the old Jet and the Powermatic band saws.
Okay. Well, we'll go with you next, Donald.
Well, let's see here. My first, the favorite one would really be the rotary tool, be it the Dremel or the pneumatic engraver. I can get down there and start carving with it, and I'm lost in my own little world. Uh, that uh, Second, I think now would be the lathe for the same reason. I get it up there and start going, and it's like everything else just is gone.
Yeah.
Then next, probably the bandsaw for about the same reason Russ was talking about. Because sometimes it's hard to find lumber in the thickness you need for like making little boxes or inlays and stuff like that. And it's nice to just be able to resaw it without having to mess with doing it on the with the table saw. And do it's no secret doing that on a table saw can be kind of dangerous, especially when you're working with my main tool like me that ain't really there all the time. But I mean, that's really about it for me. I mean, there is not a tool in my shop I don't love. I love the chisels and all that, but
Yeah, exactly.
those are my three main go-to tools. And
Yeah.
rotary tool like the Dremel, I mean, there ain't much you can't do with that with the Dremel. You can build a jig, make it a router. I mean,
When I first got started doing my stuff, Dremel came in handy. I mean, you put in too long of screws, you cut them
mm,
off with the cutoff tool.
mm,
You need to grind something, you can grind it. You need to sand something, you can sand it. I mean,
somebody weld the pipe up underneath the kitchen sink. You up under there with it, and it don't take you too long to cut. You might go through some wheels, but
yeah,
I mean, hey, $5 and it's cut.
yeah. But yeah, the small hand tools really play an important part.
And especially when you do what like me, I make little small boxes and stuff like that. This table that I'm working on now is the biggest thing I've ever really built. So for little detail stuff like that, you don't need a big tool, and that Dremel just
Yeah.
it fits in perfect.
Okay, how about you, Chris?
Well, I'm going to go a little off what I was saying. I get a situation where I'm being in my shop on my crutches all the time. I have to have tools. I have to have the complete control. I can't risk anything drifting on me and bouncing back on me, because we know what happens when you take those risks. Suddenly you have nine figures. So, but my favorite is my little 17-year-old Black & Decker jigsaw. I've used that thing as a jigsaw. I'll use it as a sawzall. When I got my house, my shop was a chicken coop. Somebody turned this little garage into a chicken coop. It had 2x4s everywhere. I used that little jigsaw to cut those suckers out of here because I didn't have a sawzall yet. I'm going to tell you, it did the job. It's still running. I've gone through a lot of blades, but it does the job. It's my favorite little go-to portable. I can move it around, take it anywhere I want to go tool. So if I have to go, say, to my sister's house and do something, I always make sure that's in the bucket with the tool. You never know what you're going to run into, especially my sister's house. But the other thing is, I'd say my porter cable table saw. I don't have a picture of it handy right now, but we all know the one that Steve Ramsey got. It's the same one I've got. It'll cut anything. It does the job for any project I've wanted it to do. I'm just now learning to make different, not different, but molding with it, curved,
Oh,
concave
yeah?
molding with it. Like run the boards over at an angle. A little at a time, the little way. I burned a
Making
lot
clove
of
cuts?
pine. Yeah, burned a lot of pine the past couple weeks playing with that. But it's kind of cool. And the other one is, and Russell will be happy to hear this, is my scroll saw. My Noah's Ark sets. I sit there for hours on end knocking out my little animals. It's a porta cable. It's dependable. Does the job. The blade change could be faster, but I'm not complaining. It's got an adjustable speed, it's got everything I need. The only downside I think it has is the heating light, the light on it. The housing heated up so much, it melted the O-ring that holds the light in place. And no matter times I've emailed them saying I need a replacement part, they never respond. So I've given up. I just took the bulb out and I put another light over it. So, I just twist the arm back and out of the way. But other than that, it's a great little saw. I mean, I wish they could resolve that problem. Maybe they have by now. But, yeah, I was knocking up animals. I saw that. So that's where I'm at. So I leave to you, Brian.
Okay, well, my favorite tools, I'll show you. I got the X-Carve. Most people don't like them, but mine seems to work just fine for me. I haven't had really any issues except for the spindles that first came out with it. Stopped, but as soon as I swapped out to the DeWalt, no problems whatsoever. And I got this bandsaw here that I love, because if I can't resaw anything on the table saw, I just take it over to the bandsaw and resaw what I need, and it works just fine. So far, it has plenty of power, and it does what I need it to do. And I have this table saw. It's a rigid or R4512. It's cut everything that I've thrown at it really well. Some people say it might be underpowered, but you know what? I've cut maple, I've cut walnut, I've cut rosewood, and I tell you what, oak, everything with it, and it cuts it just like butter. So I don't know what anybody's talking about. Those are my three favorite tools. And let's see, trying to get back to the show here. As far as what I like most about them, the table saw, it's got a nice cast iron top, very low vibration, if any vibration at all. It has plenty of power for me. It's on a mobile base, so I can move it around. That's important for a small shop, because if I need more room, I can just move it out of the way when I'm not using it. And I built a router wing on the side, so I use that as a router table also. Cuts nice and straight. Took very little setting it up to get it square and everything. So, and with the bandsaw, like I said, if I don't want to resaw wood on the table saw, I just take it to the bandsaw and it does the job that I need it to do. So, and the X-Carve, the reason I like that is because for the longest time I had never bought any ink for my printer, so instead of wasting ink, I could just print out all my, templates out on a piece of wood, and if I want to hurry up the project, I just cut an outline, take it to the bandsaw, and cut it out. If I want to cut it all the way through, I'll just go ahead and do that.
I just thought of that. That would be funny. The next time somebody needed a copy of your whatever paperwork and stuff like that, print it out in wood and take it.
Yeah, here's a template. Cut it, copy it.
Submit your tax returns, print it out on the CNC.
Yeah, print it out on the CNC. But
now,
yeah,
Brian, you said you're on your table saw, on the extension wing, you put a router table there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I did with mine. I actually went and bought the DeWalt router table, and that fit perfectly right into that extension wing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I built mine out of melamine. I have 2 sheets of 3/4 inch melamine for the table, and I got one of those Craig plates.
Yeah.
And
Boy, I said the DeWalt router table. No, I meant the Bosch router table.
oh, the
Yeah.
Bosch.
Yeah, that fits perfectly into my wing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, all the tools that I have, I just love. And they all got a purpose for what I use them for. And some are not so expensive, some are. And I mean, whatever gets the job done for me and does a good job at it is what I look forward into a tool. Any of our viewers, what are your favorite tools? What do you like about them?
Well, Al Forte saying that he loves his X-Carve too, and he said sorry today because he also got a DeWalt on his.
Yeah. Well, I was one of the early testers for it, so they sent out these little bitty spindles, and those things, I mean, my Dremel is probably more powerful than those.
Yeah. And Dan Ingwood, he has the Harbor Freight bandsaw, one of the older ones.
Excalibur scroll saw, because you can tilt the head instead of the table. Oh, yeah, that'd be nice. That's the way it should be. That way your piece of work don't fall off the table. What are you laughing about, Donald?
I hate when my work falls off the table.
I was picking on Chris. I was sitting there watching. All of a sudden, I saw him sitting over there doing it. I'm like, well, why is Chris doing a hula dance?
I pulled my earplug out to talk to my wife, who brought me new beer home. So,
Oh, well, then that's a reason to dance.
absolutely, I'm no fool. She is my source for this shop.
Yeah, and I agree with Braxton, man. I love my lathe too. I didn't mention that, but my lathe, it's a nice lathe. It's a cheap lathe, but it does the job that I need it to do. So, and I have two of the Harbor Freight models. I have the smaller one and the larger one. They're both cast iron beds.
If you think about it, you just need a tool that does the job. It doesn't have to be the top of the line expensive job that everyone gets it to pat them on the shoulders and say, hey, look, I got the expensive stuff. You know, yeah, there are definitely differences. There are differences. I know
If
there
you
are.
got the expensive, you got the clout to say, "Hey, look at me!" Yeah.
Yeah, but I agree with what Chris just said. It's like if I'm doing commercial, I'm doing building cabinets or something. Yeah, I might need the top of the line tools.
Yeah.
But if I'm on my wood shop on occasion and just use tools like my bandsaw as a Harbor Freight, I have no doubt that if I tried to use that thing on a daily basis and constantly use it, that it'd break down.
No.
But for occasional use, it's fine.
Yeah.
The
No,
same
of course.
thing with all the other tools. So
Yeah.
if you're like a weekend woodworker, and the cheaper tools are fine. Yes, they might not be as precise. Yes, they might not have the clout of the other ones. And but my point is you get what you can afford and do the best you can.
Right.
I have seen, as far as scroll sawing, I have seen some of the most intricate, beautiful pieces of work turned out of some of the cheapest scroll saws you've ever seen in your entire life.
Some of the best lathe projects I've seen have come off a Harbor Freight lathe.
Yep. So,
Oh yeah.
And I'll tell you what, for a small shop like I got, that Shopsmith I've been using, I'm surprised they're not still more popular than what they are, because they're good machines. I mean, are they? You only got a 6-inch capacity in the bandsaw, but for, like Russ was talking, somebody who's just a weekend warrior out there in the shop, I think it's perfect.
Yeah, I think the best advice we can all give to people is don't get so focused in tunnel vision. I have to have that expensive jet or grizzly or festool. No, you don't. If anything else, go to Harbor Freight, get the cheaper version, and learn.
Yeah.
If you break it, you didn't break an expensive one.
I mean, there are some tools that I have in my shop. Actually, my compound miter saw, The only reason that was like almost $1,000 when I bought it. The DeWalt.
Wow.
Yeah. And but it comes with the stand and the whole 9 yards. I mean, the really really nice one. It's probably it's got to be close to 10 years old now.
Does it come with a drink carrier?
No, but
Ah,
it was the top of the line when I got it, and the reason I got it was because I was doing a lot of construction, and we needed it for putting up trim in homes.
of
And
course.
it was one of the only saws that would cut with ease that 5 1/4 inch crown molding.
Right.
So
Yeah, and
paid
you
the
want
extra-
precision for crown
Yeah,
molding.
I paid the extra bucks and got it. Had I not bought that tool that at that time and when the business was going good and everything, I might not have it in my shop. But I have it and I'll continue to use it. And it's got to be close to. I purchased it. I know it's 10 years old. I had to purchase it in 2005 or 2006, so it's got to be close to 10 years old right now. And it's beautiful. I got the stand. Each side, the stand has wings that go out 6 foot past the stand.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. It's really.
I've got my dad's old
back in the
Milwaukee Sawzall, one of the originals from, it's got to be what, 30 years now, maybe more. It's to the metal body. It's heavy as shit, but the thing is still humming. It still does the job. My Delta and my Porta cable and my Ryobi have all crapped out along the way, but that old one is still running. And in fact, then, like you said, he was in the trade. He paid top dollar back then.
Yep.
So if you're in the trades and your livelihood depends on it, yeah, you kind of got to go upscale. But if it's a hobby and you're knocking out a cabinet for your sister, use the Craftsman, use the Ryobi. Don't kill
Get
yourself.
whatever. I agree. Get whatever you can afford to get your
Right.
shop going, and as you can improve, as you start making stuff, as you get more money, then improve your equipment. My table saw is about the world's. My table saw is a construction saw. It's actually a portable saw, an old Craftsman, and it's really, really, really bad.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to point out one thing though, that rigid that you showed on there that you said you had, Brian.
Hmm.
There's a lot. I know Steve French, Dave Gatton. There's a couple other guys that I know that have that saw. And I've seen Steve French's and Dave Gatton's. Those, I tell you what, for the bang for the buck, those are some of the nicest table saws I've ever seen. So if you're out there listening and you need a table saw and you've got the 600, it's 5 something, but might as well say 600 and something with tax. I've used Steve French's. I didn't use Dave Gatton's, but I've used Steve French's, and that thing is sweet. So that's a real good buy. I would say that's probably the closest of the ones that I've seen that would be up there with something like a Jet or some of the more expensive tools. This is a real nice saw.
Yeah, when I was searching for me a table saw, I was actually looking at that rigid or the Delta that I got. And yeah, I did a little research on it, and I think Steve Carmichael, I may be wrong about him, but I know they had the same table saw that I used too. But yeah, they're the same price, same category, same everything. The only difference is the name. So yeah, very good saw.
Yeah. Well, what sold me on the rigid was the lifetime service agreement.
Yep.
I mean, anything goes wrong with it, I just take it to an authorized repair shop. They fix it for free.
That's good.
And I ain't going to get that kind of warranty with anything else.
No, that's one of the reasons I have kind of started looking really heavily into getting more rigid tools in my shop.
Oh, I love rigid. I've been trying so hard to get rigid on my side, but because I got so many tools that are rigid. The reason I like it is because with the drills and the impact drivers, your battery dies, you just go get a new one. Shop backs, they die, you just go get a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave Gatton's in the chat room. We say he loves his rigid 4-5-12 table saw.
And if you're like me, you don't got a lot of money, so
I tell you though, for the bang for the buck on some of the Ryobi tools, you really can't knock them. The bandsaw was a total failure to me. In fact, I gave it to a friend. The guide, the blade guide broke like 3 days after I bought it. But I've got 2 or 3 of their drills, hand drills, and cordless drills. I've got I've lost track of the kind of tools I got by them, but they're all still working. I mean, the drill, I dropped it off the roof. It fell 2 stories and hit the pavement, and it's still working. So, 15 years on one of those drills, can't kill it. So I get, for the bang for the buck, yeah, Ryobi has got some tools out there really doing the job.
Yeah, that Ryobi router I bought at the pawn shop for about $30.
Yes, there you go. That was the other one I was thinking of. I couldn't think of it.
It's amazing.
Yep. My mom gave me that when she knew I was setting up a shop, and she didn't know what she was buying. She bought what she could afford, and she can afford a lot, which really amazed me. But I gotta tell you, I use that thing. I actually go to my Ryobi hand router more than I do my Craftsman plunge router, which kind of surprised me. I decided to get the plunge router, but I know the Ryobi. I know its torque. I know its feel. So.
I thought about trying to just holding off and waiting until I got a plunge router, but I mean, I don't see what I do where I'd be using one all that much. So,
yeah, you gotta balance it out. What are you gonna use it for? But then again, there's the old. I don't know what project I'm gonna make because I don't have that tool.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta think of it that way.
Well, I tell you what. Who has the rigid oscillating belt sander in their shop?
Nope.
You guys don't?
Nope.
Almost everybody I know has one.
You know the wrong people.
I tell you what, that belt sander, I've had nothing but good luck with it. Yeah, the knob gets a little tight. You gotta loosen it, somehow. But I mean, other than that, the belt tracking on them are great. The spindles stay on nice and great. I just love it.
Every tool is going to have its downside. There's no tool that's 100% perfect.
Well, and I noticed Donna has it too. So, yeah.
If you want to hear about an old table saw, a good friend of mine is in the chat room, Bob Lee. So I want you to comment on this. I can tell everybody. But he has an old, I want to say a Craftsman table saw that actually still takes the 12-inch blades. Now,
oh, wow.
Bob, if you can hear this, go ahead and comment on the chat room and let us know more about that table saw you got. I know it's very old.
Charles is up in the house.
He's late. He's buying the beer.
Hello.
Oh.
What are your favorite tools, Charles?
What was that?
What is your favorite tools? 3 of them.
Scroll saw, lathe, and hello. I have, I guess, bandsaw.
Okay.
Also.
What kind and why?
Because they're about all I have. Lathe, I would like a better one, but it's a Harbor Freight. The bandsaw is a Grizzly, so I like that. Scroll saw's a Hagner, and I like that. And why? Because they're decent, I reckon. I don't know.
Okay.
Because they work.
Well, I think I'd like a better lathe. Just has a better reputation. I mean, I have a Harbor Freight, and I appreciate having it, but I want one with digital and easy speed control and fancy stuff like that.
Oh, you just want the bells and whistles.
Yeah. The stuff that makes it worth the crap.
How about you, Shannon? 3 tools.
3 tools. I got to pick 3.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, your wife can't be one of them.
No, the scroll saw is definitely not on my list. But I got to start with my little tiny benchtop Delta bandsaw. I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it. That little thing. Hi. Yes. She's over there. Yes. That little bandsaw has, I've made more crap on that than anything else probably in the shop. So that's always going to be my baby. Even if I get a big one, I'm still keeping that one just for because I can. And so after that, probably the old Porter cable saw that I picked up. It was a shop across the Metroplex that makes those big spools that construction equipment, like power company, phone company, the big spools on the back of trucks, they made those spools and went out and bought, he says he buys 10 table saws at a time. This must be nice. But they had each one set up as a dedicated station at their company. And so that one person just stood there all day, just, made one cut. That pile of lumber went to the next one and so on. And so they had just upgraded. I forgot what he said they'd upgraded to now, but they were getting rid of these Porter cables, and I picked it up for a steal. It had some issues. It was missing a few things. Basically, they took it right out of the box, and that was it. They didn't bother. None of the accessories came with it or anything. But it was definitely an upgrade from the oh crap, what was that? That little $100 Delta Home Depot model that I had for years. Thing is noisier than I'll get out. This thing's pretty quiet, actually.
Oh, direct drive.
Yeah, basically it's a circular saw bolted to the chunk of aluminum.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Whew. But you do what you do when you get going. I think I found it on Craigslist for next to nothing too. I'm trying to think, what if I bought brand new? Nothing. Well, I bought some hand tools. I bought the Harbor Freight little hand planer, the electric planer, and I dropped it and broke the knob off, so now I can't adjust it. Sanders and things like that. But I don't know if I bought a big tool brand new. I wouldn't know what to do. But anyway, so starting with the bandsaw, then the table saw, and after that,
Looks like you got your old table saw in the corner there.
Oh, that's Grandpa's. That was my grandfather's. It's
okay.
It is a Shopmaster, and it uses 7-inch blades. You can't put a 10-inch blade in it. It is a tiny little compact table saw. It had wings, little framework wings on the other side. I had to take them off, but I have it sitting there because I want to do something with it. I don't know.
Make a sander out of it.
Well, yeah, something. I got to figure out something to do with it one day because it's cool, but it's way too little to use. At least for the stuff I want to do. But yeah, I'll have to come up with something for it one day. But that's I think is it's from the 50s if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, definitely one I can't throw away. Just like the scroll saw, even though it's a plastic Mastercraft scroll saw. I won't say all scroll saws are because Charlie's here, but the I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm not even looking to see him wiggling his finger. I know that one's fairly new because it's all made of plastic, and no. Maybe one day I'll break down and get a real scroll saw after hell freezes over. I might get into scrolling and then go from there. But honestly, this little 1x30 sander, a little Harbor Freight special. My wife got it for me for Christmas a couple of years ago. And I know a lot of people rake on those little strip sanders, but that thing, it's allowed me to get into some crevi that I don't know that I'd be able to get into with any other, even just having to do it with hand sandpaper, I don't think would get into some of these cracks and stuff. So I'd probably go with that. Or Grandpa's, I put a picture of it up the other day, Grandpa's big half-sheet sander. That thing takes about 2 minutes to get up to speed. It's so big and chunky. And it's like holding onto a jackhammer until it gets up to speed. But once it's running, you can sit there with just a couple of fingers. And I mean, this thing, it's a monster. And you can sit there with a couple of fingers and just work it around, and it does all the work for you sanding. Ingrain cutting board, don't care. This thing will take care of it. You throw some coarse grit on there, come back a half hour later, it's walked its way around the board, and you're fine. So it's that might be one of those two. Might be my tie for third or something. I don't know.
Okay. That sounds good. Now we got Mr. Meadows. You want to tell people what your 3 favorite tools are?
Right now is my table saw and my scroll saw.
Ones that are out of the box.
I was gonna say, you ain't no box knife.
What kind of table saw you got?
I got a DeWalt 10-inch table saw. It's pretty brand new.
Okay.
And, I got DeWalt. I've got a pretty much I guess a 3/4 DeWalt shop. I'm working on getting it all the way 4/4, but right now it's just 3/4.
And why you like them?
I've started with that DeWalt scroll saw, and I really like that one. It does a very good job for me. And when my Sears Craftsman table saw went out, I said, let me go ahead and just get a DeWalt. And so when I got that, man, that thing cuts like butter. I said, I love it. And so I've been going on and on and on with the DeWalt now, and so far they've been good for me.
Yep. I got a few DeWalt items in my shop, and they're pretty good.
I don't have the little hand drills or things like that yet, but as things crap out, that's probably what I'll replace with.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, anybody on the chat? I don't see nothing. Man! Everybody's over there talking, but nobody's got any input.
They're all shy.
Hand drill. Al says he started with hand drill DeWalt's and he loves them. Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Now my go-to drills are Milwaukee, and I love the Rigid.
I like
as far as
anything
my
that works.
cordless, I was going to say the cordless ones, anything. The Walmart $20 special is fine with me. When I really want to do something, I've got my dad's old Craftsman.
Yeah.
When I want to drill something, that boy, I plug into the wall.
I got news for you. Back in the day, Black & Decker used to make some damn good tools. I mean, my dad had some Black & Decker stuff that just went on and on and on and on. As a matter of fact, I think it's one of the Black & Decker is still one of the top as far as it bought out a lot of the other companies and stuff.
When I
I've got
first
a few of my
started
dad's
woodworking,
B&B
Black
stuff.
& Decker was my go-to tool because it was affordable.
Right,
Yeah.
I have one myself. I have a hand drill that's
And
Black & Decker.
And the old Craftsman, when the Craftsman tools, just like a lot of people were saying, the old, I'm talking about during
Yeah, it's when
up
they were
until
worth
like
something.
70s or 80s is when they started building them in China and they got real chintzy. But up until that point, they were damn good tools.
Yeah, I love Craftsman because of their warranty.
Yeah.
I got some of my dad's Craftsman circular saws and drills and stuff like that, and they were bought before I was sawdust, and they still kicking.
My God, them things are old.
Yeah, I got a circular saw that's, I'd say it's about 25 years old.
And I'll tell you another thing. Talking about circular saw, Skill, S-K-I-Y-L, I think it was called. Skill saw.
S-K-I-L.
Okay, Skill saw was one of the first ones that I remember when I was a kid come out with the circular saws, and they had a lot of good tools. The reason I say that is because my father owned one of his first circular saws was a Skill saw, and he didn't call it a circular saw. He said, "Go get the Skill saw," and everybody needed it. So for years when I grew up, when you wanted a circular saw or a power saw, you would ask, "Go get the skill saw." And my kids were looking at me.
My dad did the
It
same
didn't
thing.
matter whether it was Black and Decker, whatever.
Exactly, it was a steel saw.
Yep.
Well,
So, I
when
mean,
Russ
that
was a
was
kid-
a brand back in the day. And, you know, all back in those days, all the casings for the tools were made of metal.
Yep,
There
I've
was
got a few
no
of them.
plastics back then. The drills, the saws, all of them were metal. Actually, it was an aluminum alloy metal that they used for all of them. I still have a few of my tools that my father had that were still metal tools.
Yeah,
That's the way that sander of Grandpa's was. And when I first, I brought it home and it sat for a while, and finally I said one day I need to use this thing. And it has an old metal trigger on it. I found out why Grandpa stopped using it.
You get the time of your life?
Wow.
Yeah. Pull the trigger.
That, of course, it vibrates real bad on takeoff, and so you're stuck holding this thing, and it's running off on you, and you're going with it, and it finally broke free of me. That's how I let go of it. So yeah, that was some adventure, but it never dawned on me it had a metal trigger. I just reached down and grabbed it. So
Now you know.
Did you see
he
the
knew
light?
about that. He knew about that. You pissed him off
Oh, yeah.
somewhere along the line.
Oh, yeah.
He said, I'm leaving this to Shannon.
he's all leaning over the cloud going, I know him well enough. He's getting all kind of laughs out of it.
He
But
made a note to,
go ahead, sucker.
yep,
he made a note to himself a long time ago. Leave this to Shannon.
yeah. Probably had, hey y'all come see. Look, he's gonna do it finally.
You know, I can't figure out how in the heck, because back in the day, I've got some old metal tools that didn't have the ground part on the plug that goes in the wall. They only had two. That was a neutral and the pot, or that's all they had. So how the heck did they keep from getting electrocuted holding those metal tools is what I'd like to know.
Well, in theory, the building was grounded.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
In theory, where you plugged in, the building itself was grounded.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, we had to chew the wood.
Well, that was back in the days before they started putting warnings on chainsaws about don't hold blade between your legs.
Don't kiss the blade.
And you sit there wondering exactly what happened to cause them to require this warning to be put on.
Working for the maritime industry, the Coast Guard, we have all these regulations and rules, from drug testing to time on board to lifeboat training to you name it. And we have one solid line that every single one of our regulations is built out of some moron doing something stupid. So, if someone put a chainsaw between their legs, that's why there's a warning on them now. So,
Yeah, that's why I'm afraid to use a hair dryer in the shower, and I'm afraid to take that tag off the mattress.
FBI will come looking for you, buddy.
Yeah, they got a little sensor on that tag. They'll not tear it off.
Well, everything's going to chips now, so they very well may have one. Possible. I got my new bank card the other day. I was sitting there swiping it, and I'm like, "What the heck? It's a chip." What?
yeah.
You got to stick it.
Well, now if you on the ones I went to, if you swipe it and it has the chip, it'll give you that.
Yeah.
That you
So
got.
everybody knows you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't make that noise. It just lets me swipe till somebody figures out I'm an idiot.
I decided I'm going back to cash.
Most people know pretty quick with me.
Actually, cash is what, for the most part, I'll just go to the bank and take the money out, because now they got the little gadgets they stick there on the card reader and all that, and they've got your number and all that. Nah.
Well, half the problem with cash, though, is most of the cashiers today can't count back change. I mean, if you don't get, like, if you throw an extra 7 cents because you're thinking I'll get a quarter back or 50 cents back, they can't process.
No,
Yeah.
and you're blowing their mind.
I love doing that.
Hey, making money.
I love
did it.
making them feel stupid. I love doing that.
Well, the
I did
cash
that
registers
at
these
the
days
store.
will tell you what change to give back. Probably because of that.
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes they don't even know how to read the cash register. It's like I was down at the store the other day, and it was not 10:30 or something. 10:26 or something like that, and I handed them $10.30, and they're like, "Tells you right there, man."
Well, the register I was always on said with cheese, whole onions.
And had a picture of the burger on it.
I mean, how can you screw up a machine that tells you what to do?
Coming down of America.
Well, in those idiots' defense, I used to be one of them. Don't agree that I still am. But when
Well,
you're
proud of you with that.
when you're a young kid and you're at those registers and there's people depending on you, even the smartest person can freeze up. It's like, it's like when that person hands you that extra 7 cents. You just screwed me up.
Hey,
When I
I'll
was
give you a pass every now and then, but when it's a regular thing, it means you can't do math.
when I was cutting meat, they were talking about having some of us put on register. Everybody looked at me and they're like, "No, it won't." I get nervous.
So let's keep Donald in the back room.
It looks like everybody's showing up about now.
Wow.
Well, let's keep it going about another hour.
Well,
The reason why we started late last week was because Braxton lives in California, and he couldn't get nobody over there until about 5 his time or 6. So
well, they might have thought the show was starting at the same time as last week. Why don't we just go another hour? By God,
That's what I thought. So I was
less
late.
yeah, we can go another hour. I guess it won't hurt.
less family friendly, but no thumbs down. Look at Russ shaking his head.
Because I really wanted to point out a few woodworkers that.
Hey, I haven't eaten dinner yet. So,
Well, go eat.
And he was just sitting over there eating a pile of chicken, and you
do what?
he was just wolfing down a pizza a while ago, and you ate.
Yeah, he did, but I didn't.
Well, go get you some.
I don't think you'd be able to get food away from him.
I
wouldn't try it, and I'm a fat boy. I ain't scared.
You're a different type of
Go
father.
ahead, make dinner.
So my daughter comes over with a
Well,
pizza.
if we're going, I don't know if we're going to be here. How much longer we're going to be here? Let's put it that way.
That's fine, Russ. Whatever you want to head out is fine. You did
All
an hour.
You put
You
your
did
time
your
in.
community service.
On another note, before he leaves, he's gone. That damn, he didn't take long. I was gonna tell him, and now I'm telling all of y'all that I just came from Lowe's and I got the 2x4s to make my table for the CNC machine, so I'm getting closer.
Did you get a box knife?
Hey, don't use a box knife. It's out of plywood.
You'd be there for a while with a box knife.
Did you get a crowbar?
Well,
You
I'll
get
tell
a
you
box
what.
knife, you could have been in that thing by now.
You know, if I was retired, disabled, or any of those other functions not working, I'd already had it going.
Yeah, I get that going on too.
Well,
Man, I figure everybody's got excuses.
you know, maybe if you'd start delivering the mail on time.
Ooh.
Oh hell!
When
Yeah,
I'm
it keeps
delivering it,
going
it's
later
on
and
time.
later in the day.
No matter what time I get there, I'm on time, by God.
And Donald's gonna be wondering where all the damn mail went from this day forward.
Yeah, really. As long as you realize we're still live and there are postmen in your area watching this.
That's all right. Let them watch. You know, when Dave Gatton sends you out a crate, let me tell you, he crates it, and he puts so many screws in that thing, it's unbelievable. It ain't coming out.
Well, he probably should have sent you a screwdriver too.
No, I got to tell
Hey,
you.
can you click the off button right quick so I can tell Charles Deering something too? I don't want to forget to know.
I've been watching for about 3 weeks and not been able to comment. I have.
All I can say is it's better to have than to have not. Even if it's not usable, I still got it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
just
I'm getting
knowing
there.
that you got it. That's the
I am
main
getting
thing.
there. All this other times I'm trying to learn the software. So there we go.
Yeah, there you go. Practice up on that before you do the
You
mechanical.
know, Dave is doing the opposite of IKEA. Instead of not enough screws, he's giving you too many screws.
Oh man, I'm even the little box
He
that he
screwed
sent
it
me
to you, bud.
I still don't know the software. That's why I got rid of my CNC.
Oh well, it's a learning curve, but it's not. I don't think it's going to be that bad when I finally get into it. But I can't wait. I really can't wait. I've been in the shop moving stuff around for the last week trying to get enough room to set that table up. When you get to looking at it, that's a hell of a lot of space for that 4x4. And with an 8-foot shop, that thing it takes up over half of it in the back. Yeah, I say, that's a lot of shop, and that's a lot of wood. And I'm gonna get it.
That's what she said.
Well,
I'm sorry, I said that.
hey, we're online still.
How do you know, Chris? Was you in the room?
Sorry. I didn't realize you were still live. I'm sorry.
We may have to ask the YouTube audience what they want us to talk about since we already had an hour worth of his original topic.
Yeah. You people that are watching, what do you want us to talk about?
Yeah, all 4 of you. Make suggestions.
4? I see 12.
Cool, cool.
Okay, here's a question for the panel here. What project is it you want to do, but you don't have the time or the resources?
Say that one more time.
What project do you want to do, but something's stopping you from doing it, whether it be the time or the resources?
I want to make a bowl.
I want to make porn.
You
One
would.
time and resources stopping him from that.
Charles, you're missing a lot more than the time and the resources there.
I want to make something like an armoire or a hutch or something really nice as a major project. Not nothing like the secretary that you know who did, but something really nice. Yeah, Macrimona.
I would love to have a very dressy one of those entertainment centers that takes up the whole wall.
Charles, I'm gonna tell you what fella told me one time back in the day. People are not interested in 5-second videos.
I'll have you know. All right, Mr. Smarty Pants, it's 4.3 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know we're still live, and we apologize for this conversation.
We're live, guys.
But some of
the
y'all
sad part is that includes his intro and his outro.
Let's see. Robert Evans would like to see a grandfather clock, or do a grandfather clock.
Right.
Yeah, I'd want to do one of those. I love those things.
Yep.
I want to redo the built-in cabinetry I did in my dining room. 10 years ago, I built the built-in, actually, more than that now. I've been here 12 years. We had a roof leak, and it soaked the walls and the woodwork in our dining room. So I had to move the schedule up and rebuild the built-in cabinetry in the dining room. My skills were very lacking back then, and in my opinion, it looked like crap. My family said it looked great, but I think it looked like crap. But I want to rebuild that. I want to do it properly, and now that my skills have improved, much through some shows like this. So, that's my ultimate want-to-do project, but time and resources are stopping me from doing that.
Yeah, I found some of my father's old handyman magazines, and there's plans in there for a tall boy, I guess Victorian style tall boy or whatever. I want to make that one day, but it ain't gonna be something I'm gonna make out of pine. So time, talent, and resources. It's gonna be a little while.
Now, do you have a place to put something like that?
I just want to do it. I'll sell that bad boy.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna build it and just leave it outside till someone buys it.
Or I mean, I got a daughter. It ain't like I ain't got somebody that can't use it.
Okay.
By then she might have a place she'll want something like that.
Yeah.
Because she's in nursing school, so she's
Mm.
There
A
you
few
go.
more years, won't be taking care of Daddy.
Well, that was back.
Start with nursing school just in time to take care of her daddy.
Well, I know this. I know this guy that's selling 50,000 building patterns. You know, his name is Ted.
Nah.
You know him too?
Oh, we all know him.
Now, that leads into another question. Now. How many people work off a pattern, and how many people work just shoot from the hip?
I have to. I
Pattern.
now I know I'm setting myself up here, but I am dumb as a mud brick, folks. I gotta have it spelled out in front of me, dimensions, everything. I got
Same
to.
here. I gotta have patterns, directions, everything.
Now, if I made a habit
Really?
of if I made a habit of building things, you know, there's certain methods that would just stick with me, but like structurally. But having never done it, I would have to go by plans.
I mean, you
Really?
know how to make the joints and things like that.
Yeah.
So you just need the plan to guide you through the process. Or?
Well, get that and a couple more brain cells, I guess. But I can show them
I'm
pretty
just the
pictures that it
opposite.
would.
I feel working from plans really confuse me. So I just look at something, see how it's built, and then I can recreate it.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
I had
I-
something to look at,
Much
maybe.
like that. I'll look at a picture, and if it's a piece of furniture, okay, it's got an apron, like a table, it's got an apron around, it's got tops, it's got legs. I understand the process of how those get put together. I just have to make the parts. So I don't work off the plans, but I do look them up. I look at them. I don't recall them exactly.
Well, I guess the word I'm looking for is confidence. I have more confidence with plans.
Something like a Adirondack chair, something like that that's got curves to it
Yep.
and stuff like that. You know, that's something that I can't draw a straight line to begin with, but I can cut one. And but I can't make the curves look like that without a pattern. There's no way for me to draw them and make them look right.
Especially if it's a symmetrical design. Yeah.
Right, and stuff like it's got to be on both sides the same, and something like that, it throws me without a pattern to go by.
So that makes sense. I guess I use a few patterns, like you said, the Adirondack chairs. I've got a pattern. Actually, I'm gone past the patterns. I've got some templates
Right.
already on hard stock that I pull out.
I haven't done that yet, but I need to. I've built 3 Adirondack chairs, and I need to build some more.
Right.
But I still have the paper patterns. I've never cut them out on hard stock yet.
Yeah, template is a good idea because it's consistent and
Right.
And I've got a double bench seat with a table in the middle of my yard.
Right.
And the weather has not been kind to it, let's put it that way. It's starting to collapse. It was built with
Oh,
time.
wow.
But we've had it for 6 years in the yard. I can't complain. It's done its service. But as it starts to let go, I'm going to put it in the shop. I'm going to make templates out of the parts.
Exactly.
Well, there was
like melamine or thin plywood, and just stick them in the cabinet until it's time to build another one.
Fellas, I got some company over here, so I'm gonna have to cut out.
Come
You're
on
not going
back.
to introduce us?
I
You're not
enjoyed
going to
it.
introduce us.
I'm glad to be back.
You're
The
not
only one
going
that
to
wants to
introduce us.
step
Yeah, we hear the females.
And you're John. I'm hurt, Donald.
That's not Jackie, is it?
No.
I'd be scared.
Donald, we're hurt. You're
So
not gonna
is it
introduce us.
Rose?
Well, Donald's
I'll
actually
never tell.
Donald's actually blushing, so he
Rosie?
might.
That's because she's sitting over there making faces at me, and
Well, now shock her. Put her on the
Turn the
camera.
camera around. Let's see you.
Bring her in front of the camera. We must.
well, see, the thing is that she's on the back of the computer, so she won't come on this side of the computer.
Turn the computer
That's
around.
okay.
Come on,
There you go.
tell her
Turn
when you're
around.
on.
Turn the computer around.
Turn the computer.
Anyway, we catch y'all later.
You chicken.
You got a show and tell.
See you later, Don.
Later,
Well,
bro.
have a good night, man.
Videos that Charles was talking about a while ago. No, I'm just kidding.
I want
Anyway.
copies. Anyway.
We'll talk to y'all later. I'll be on Russell's show tomorrow night, too.
Hey, before you go,
Yeah.
next week I'd like us to do like an interview of ourselves. So Get prepared
sing
to
us out.
talk about yourself a little bit about your history.
Interview
Sounds
ourselves.
dangerous to me.
Yeah, I'll kind of like do an interview, but you guys are just going to basically talk about yourselves, how
Okay.
you got started, how you evolved.
Okay.
I don't like talking about himself.
Evolve. Who is really involved here? Come on.
I haven't evolved. I
Cool.
still walk with a slouch. Go ahead.
Bye, guys.
Good to see you, John.
Bye,
Hey,
Donald.
good, brother. Nice
No,
to have you back.
on a serious note, the one thing I ever built without plans, I overbuilt. My brother and I made a picnic table out of 2x4s and 2x6s. We overbraced the crap out of that thing. You could have dropped it off the back of a truck going 70 and it wouldn't have broken. I mean, and it's heavy as all get out, but that thing was sturdy.
Yep, I'm the same way. I always
I
overbuild.
better go. We talk to y'all later.
Later.
Okay.
Donald, come on,
Bye,
night, brother.
Donald.
Be good.
Bye, Donald.
Thank you.
Adios, brother.
Where all the lightweights are gone. We're here now. Bye.
There
God.
you go. Good having Donald back.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
And
Yeah.
it was definitely a worthy project.
Yeah.
When we get here, I'm good for a little while longer.
Moon Pie says, worst thing is my wood projects have seen a downturn since I only have a power cord to get power.
I can't afford the wood, so don't build that.
Why? You can only use one power tool at a time, so what's the problem?
Well,
Yeah.
he can't power that.
Lane ran his business off of power cord. I don't know how many years.
Well, yeah, he's saying he's using the only power cord he has to power his shop, so he can't plug anything else in. Just get a surge strip, dude.
There you go, yeah.
Power strip.
All-time favorite projects. What's your all-time favorite project?
For me, I've done so many pictures out of wood, but I did Metallica 5 feet wide and the Last Supper 6 feet wide. So I guess you could that or well, and I have. If you go to my pictures and portraits and more made out of wood, the profile picture has a lion. That's probably my favorite project.
That Last Supper is 6 feet long.
6 feet wide, yeah. And I still got it.
Is that on the wall of the Deering Chapel someplace?
No.
Wow, that's huge.
I like doing things big and don't go there.
Well, that's a personal problem.
Well, for me, I think it's going to have to be the Arondite chair I just built not too long ago. And the reason why I said that's probably my favorite one, because, well, for one, it's mine. I get to sit in it. Well, Mom's not in it. But as soon as I made it and I posted it online, I got orders for more to build. So I was able to build out, I don't know, I think 4 chairs, just one right after another, and everybody liked them. So that's probably my favorite build.
Do you have room to store, say, if you built a couple in advance?
I'm actually thinking about building another one just for that reason. But mostly, what I tell them is it's a pre-order type deal, and it's a 50% deposit. Pay first. But yeah, I think about actually building one more chair just to throw out there before the winter time.
Right. Yeah. Because I make my Noah's Ark sets with all the animals and the boat and shit like that. And, sorry, pardon my language.
He means crap like that, folks.
Yeah, crap like that. And I've noticed I've got one almost done right now, only because I'm trying to always, as much like I'm getting bored with making them, I try to keep one in the mill at all times because it never fails. You know, your neighbor, your friend, your coworker, their cousin has a kid and they want one. So you got to come up with one pretty quick. So I always have one done and one in the mill. So.
That's the same way with me on those memorial crosses I've been doing. It seems like every time I think I'm done, 2 or 3 more pop up and they want them, and I'm burnt out on making them doggone things.
I can't get people to want stuff, so I can't feel your pain.
Charles,
they just don't want your stuff, Charles.
Exactly. I pick all the stuff nobody buys.
Well, I don't
I
know.
like
Every,
rolls.
everything I
Though.
get
You
from
do pretty good.
every pattern I get from Charles, I either sell or give to somebody, and they seem to love them.
Well, dagnabbit, tell him buy from the source. This guy needs.
You know, Charles, what you ought to do is, you sell them the pattern at a discount, but you get a commission for each piece they sell.
God, if I did that, I'd be too big for the show. That sounded bad. I mean, I'd have to get my butler to appear on these shows for me.
Well, when you get that impressive,
Well, it is heartwarming when somebody says, "Man, that such and such pattern I got from you, I am selling a bunch," and I'm very happy for them. But my God, I can't sell nothing. And I'm not.
Say, you give it to them at a discount, but you get a commission for each piece.
Yeah, I'm not whining. I'm just complaining.
Oh, it's a good idea.
Maybe there's nobody around you that wants to buy, but over here, I don't have much of a problem selling stuff. I just came up with a fleur-de-lis the other day. I found a picture of it on the internet that I liked, and I downloaded it. And I thought, well, wonder what that would look like with a fancy initial in the middle of it. And so I did one, and I sent a picture of it to my sister who lives in Florida, but she was from New Orleans. And she fell in love with it, so I gave her the first one, and I took the picture with my phone. I brought it to work to show the guy next to me. He says, "I want one of those." And so now that's $15 for nothing that I'm gonna get.
Well, that's my problem. Is my own fault because I tend to do artsy fartsy shit that's decorative. But if you make things that are functional, they'll sell better. And I know this, but
yeah.
I don't know. I like challenging myself when I make things. Sometimes waking up is a challenge, but I mean, so I was doing
that.
Thank you. I was doing this scroll saw stuff for years, and it is a passion of mine, but I can't sell it because art doesn't sell as well as practical use things.
Right.
So I need to get past my own arrogance of wanting to do challenging, intricate things and do simple things that people will buy.
Exactly, and that's what I did with that fleur-de-lis. It was a real simple design. And basically, it was just, other than the initial that I put in it, it was just two cuts.
Yeah.
And the outside cut, and then the little band across the bottom, I cut that out. And I'm looking at a fleur-de-lis, and I used a monogram font, and I just can throw any kind of letter in there.
Yeah,
and
it's like
it comes out well.
You
it's
sell
like
5. You can sell 500 things for $5 or 5 things for 500, and you're more likely to sell 500 things for $5. And my brain will not take that. And say no, let's do something funny and challenging and show off.
Yeah. Oh, I like the challenging aspect of your patterns as well.
I appreciate it.
And but that's just something that it came to me all of a sudden because where I'm at is like a hop skip from the Louisiana border. And I thought that would, and I got a lot of Cajun people in this area, so I thought that would go over pretty well. And so far, if I pass it out a little bit more, I'm sure it'd be a lot. I made it out of cherry wood, 3/4 inch, and it came out well.
Well, I need a starter and an alternator for my truck, so for the next week, only for y'all, I'll charge $100 a pattern.
What a guy!
You know that Iron Maiden pattern you gave me, Charles?
Eddie? Yeah.
I love it.
Man, that thing sells big time down here.
Yeah, blab it.
How much do you sell your patterns for?
$7 for some, $10 for others.
Heck, I've been getting 25 a piece for those patterns.
You ain't supposed to sell the patterns. All right, now, cut the camera off right quick.
I give a good what for right now.
What was your address again?
I'm just messing with you, Charles.
Stepped away, Ross. Did you show that fleur-de-lis?
Do what now?
Did you show them the fleur-de-lis?
What on here on screen? No.
No, I stepped away, so.
No, I didn't show it.
Oh, you showed it to me a couple nights ago. It was really nice.
I think I did, didn't I? Yeah.
The problem with any kind of design, especially something that can be converted to CNC or lasers, and this is not meant to be racist, it's just a fact. A lot of the people that are freely giving away other people's designs are Middle Eastern. That's what I've noticed. Some Russians, but mainly Middle Easterns, and that's the biggest drawback to people like me that design things, because, you know, I need to eat. And
I'll see that.
I'll get back to Russ. That looks very nice.
I don't know if you can see that, but in the top up there, it's got the letter right
Yeah.
there. And all it is cut out, and that little band across the bottom is cut completely out, and then the outside of it, and that's it. And I just threw an initial in there.
Very nice, sir.
Yeah. A little hard to see on the phone, probably, but.
No, that wasn't actually a bad shot.
That looked good.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
so
another
wide.
one I did from a coworker. Unbeknownst to me, we had a local flea market here that his wife used to go have a booth at, and the name of her business was Fleur de Lis Designs.
Hi.
And so I didn't have a clue. I knew they had one out there one time, but I didn't know what the name of it was. And so when I popped that out, he jumped on it.
I've always wondered how to say that term. I always call it Fleurs de Lille.
Fleur de Lis.
You might be a redneck if you Fleurs de Lille.
Yeah.
And hors d'oeuvres is horse duvers.
Horse
Back
d'oeuvres.
on.
That's what I used to call it until I learned better. Yeah. Horse d'oeuvres.
All right, YouTubers, ask us something. By golly.
Yeah, really. Anything. Throw us anything.
I will answer any question you give me.
Really?
Whether truthfully
Okay,
or
I got
not, but he will answer it.
Always truthfully, whether it's sad or... Is anybody manning YouTube?
you. Anything, Brian?
That's not an exchange
How
job.
did I sell Charles for?
All right, well, we got Moon Pie Creations asking me something here. He wants to know what the hat I got on. Let's see if I can show this.
Yeah, he's a Desert
Are you
Storm
kidding
veteran.
me?
Yeah,
Ooh, wow.
my Desert Storm veteran hat.
Thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you. I was actually in two of them, which was the very first operation we did, which was Operation Desert Shield. And
Desert
Desert
Shield.
Shield turned into Desert Storm.
Mhm.
And my
Well,
dad,
you're younger than I thought.
a lot of military people, if you call them sir, they'll say, "Don't call me sir. I work for a
I
living."
work for a living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Work for a living, yeah.
And it's sad too, because there's, and this is a total tangent, but what the heck, we're talking. When you're raised to say yes sir, yes ma'am, and then you get these people, "Don't call me sir. It makes me feel old." Well, dag nabbit, it's called respect. Deal with it.
You are old. Get over it.
Hush! What?
And if you're not that old, get out of my parking spot.
Yeah, there you go.
Shane, what branch of service? Navy?
Yeah, he was Navy.
Navy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was Navy. I actually did my 4 years in the Navy active duty. And then after I got out, I did 3 years Army National Guard.
Oh, the Army, they walk everywhere.
Yeah. That's why I did 3
No,
years. I had to do
sometimes,
that.
no, there's paratroopers.
Yeah, well.
Moon Pie, he was in the Air Force.
I tried to get in the Army, but my hearing wasn't good enough. That's not a joke. My dad was 23 years, 7 months in a day, Army Special Forces.
Wow.
Career military. I was born in Okinawa.
Well, like us, I worked for the Navy for 7 years during Desert Storm. And now I work for the Coast Guard. I just hit 20. And I know my 20-year plaque is sitting on my boss's desk because I was in his office yesterday where I shouldn't have been. And I saw it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody
23
here
years
from
Afghanistan,
Vietnam.
baby.
No Vietnam vets.
My dad. But my dad can't be here, sorry.
I understand that. But I think I'm the only one on this panel that went back that far.
How is your dad doing, by the way, Charles?
Still functionable, but slightly downhill.
Hmm.
Thank you for asking.
All right, Charles, we got a question for you.
There we go.
Dan Ingwood. How many seconds is in a year? You said any question.
All right, there would be 12, the second of each month.
Don't Google it.
I'm glad I came up with that. It made me sound remotely intelligent. That might have been a trick question. I might have gotten it right, by God. Why do you,
I'll
Why
go
do
with
you-
that answer.
why do you drive on a parkway and park on a driveway?
Driveway.
Why do feet smell and noses, never mind.
Run. Run.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, boys. I'm getting texts from the wife. Wants to spend some time together. We haven't seen each other all week.
Yeah, dinner's about ready for me too. So.
By God.
Oh, y'all little wussies.
And there ain't no questions coming in, so I guess
Listen,
we'll
Shane,
end
if
it
Mom
with this.
called you, you'd go running. Who are you kidding?
But mom cooks good.
So is my wife.
Well, yeah, my wife does too. But
See?
Before we head off of here, everybody's been asking me updates about Mom.
Yeah.
I would like to say that she's doing better, but she's not. Past couple of days, I've been having her in bed, doped up on some pretty good pain meds. It's her leg. Y'all don't know this or not. I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, she had an accident where she busted out her kneecap, and her bones in her leg literally went like that and tore up a bunch of stuff in her leg. And long story short, she's paralyzed in that leg, but yet nothing got fixed in her leg. Her bones got set, her arteries got put back together, which took forever, and that's it. That's all they done to her leg. So she's in a lot of pain, although she's paralyzed, but she can still feel pain in that leg. And just getting over and over and over constant pain is really starting to tear her down now. And we're actually thinking about amputation on the leg. I told her don't decide it just yet. Let's go and talk to some specialists. Let's weigh the pros and the cons, and we'll go from there. So right now, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was going to say, tell her we care and we're thinking about her, and sorry she's going through all this.
Thank you. I will
and
let her know.
you as a spouse, I'm sorry you're going through it.
What her family don't understand is why I'm here taking care of her. See, the state pays me to take care of her now. Otherwise, she'll have to be in a nursing home. And her family don't understand why I quit my over-the-road trucking job to come and take care of my wife. And I think, well, I married her, and in my vows it said, "Till death do us part, in sickness and in health." So yeah, I take my vows seriously. And her family, wow, I wouldn't have done that for my wife. Well, apparently you don't love your wife as much as I do mine.
I love my wife more than life itself.
Exactly, yeah. And I cannot see taking her to a nursing home when I can do the exact same thing for her and better than what they can do.
Right.
Now, we have talked if it does get too far to where I cannot take care of her, then she is okay for me to send her to a nursing home. But that is nowhere close to that time right now. I'm always going to be there for her.
I shouldn't joke about it, but my wife should be paid to deal with me.
Charles, we should be paid to deal with you too.
I hate it when somebody gets a good burn and I don't have a comeback. Dang it.
Hey Shane, let her know that being today with myself, I completely understand. If she just wants to talk, tell her to reach out. You hear me?
I'll tell you again. I'm sorry.
Being disabled myself, I have a lot of understanding what she's going through. So if she just wants to talk and just BS sometime, just tell her to reach out. Find me on Facebook and then call me, whatever. I'll find you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I know you said you're in a wheelchair. Do you feel down below too, like the pain that she feels, or what?
I don't feel the pain, but I have the moments where I use my crutches too, but I have the days where the legs aren't doing what I want them to do. So I don't have the pain level. I'm lucky on that respect, but I have the frustration level too.
Imagine. Yeah, before the injury, she was always a very active woman. She loved to walk all over the place. I could be sitting at the house. She said, I'm going to go walking around the block for a while. I'm not. Go for it. And she's always in the kitchen cooking and making this, making that. And since that injury, she can't do hardly anything now. And
Yeah.
tearing her down.
Well, just tell her to reach out if she just wants someone to talk to that's outside the norm.
Yeah, I think the hardest part is for people who like to be active that suddenly can't be.
Yeah, that's her.
That's the mental struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm gonna pull the plug here myself too, because like I said, I haven't seen my wife all week. So
Bad choice of words there, buddy.
Yeah. Been one of those weeks we keep missing each other. So.
10-4, be good.
Carry on.
Stay out of trouble, guys. Be good.
You too.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to be good, but I'll okay.
Well, do what you gotta do. Let's put that on.
Do what you gotta do.
Can't be good at it.
All right. See you all tomorrow night.
Later, homie dog.
All right.
For real. IT.
All right, well.
Okay, so next week,
down.
plan on doing your history, and that's all I got for this week. Looks like everybody's cutting out, so that's what we're doing.
Don't have a history. What about that?
We'll make a history for you.
And you got to do a book report, by God.
I never did those in school. I always took a 0.
I always look forward to making the book cover because I like drawing, but all that crap in the middle.
Well, for Charles, all you got to do, Charles, is tell him where you served your time at.
And what padded cell you're in. Oh.
But I got this neat jacket where I could hug myself all the time. Stay safe,
anyway, that's all I got for this week, guys. I want to thank you for tuning in, and hopefully you got some questions for us next week, and we'll see you then. Thanks.
Bye, y'all.
Appreciate y'all watching. Come back and see us. Look for the